Hi, and welcome to Black, White, Gray, Yellow. My name is Diana, and this channel is all about communication, connection, and resilience. In today's video, I want to share with you a speech that I wrote and delivered to my local Toastmasters chapter. This one being maybe not your typical Toastmasters speech. It's very personal. It's called A Lesson in Resilience, and the purpose of it is to demonstrate ultimately to you, my YouTube audience, that I do in fact practice what I preach. While I am up here teaching communication and connection and resilience, I have to practice these skills too, and it isn't easy. I have to overcome my own demons and put into practice even these very skills that I teach you. So I hope the lesson that I'm able to cover in my speech today is valuable to you, either for your own personal use or to better understand or help those around you who may struggle with depression or other demons. I did ultimately decide to re-record this speech because I wasn't as happy with my Toastmasters delivery as I'd like to have been. And I feel like for something so personal, I want to make sure that I deliver it right. So without further ado, I'd like to now transition to my speech, A Lesson in Resilience. I struggle with depression. It runs in my family. Or, as my husband might say, it doesn't run, it walks, and gets to know everybody personally. I tend to demand justification for my own existence on this planet and struggle to live up to my own high standards. I tend not to believe that I have a right to exist just because I'm here, and that if I'm not constantly making the world a better place, then I am a waste of space. I also get depressed about the state of the world and how little I can do about it. I worry about the rise of authoritarianism around the world, including right here in the United States. I get angry at the people who made or allowed this to happen, and I tend not to like myself very much when I'm angry. I also worry about my own future. I'm simultaneously both afraid to have kids and afraid not to. I am terrified to try to raise them in a world that could be profoundly unkind to them. I'm also afraid to be alone. I worry about giving up years of my life to raise children who could turn into adults I don't even like. And I'm also afraid of what happens to the family history if I'm the end of the line. I don't tell you this to be a downer. I tell you this because I think it's important for me to demonstrate that even people like myself who teach resilience, we still struggle. I pride myself on being an extremely resilient person, but resilience doesn't mean a person does not struggle. It means that I've learned how to struggle forward. I have learned to push through and bounce back from the low points. I've learned to find reasons to keep going. So, with the rest of my time, I'd like to share just one lesson that has helped me deal with my depression, in the hopes that it may help you too, whether you struggle or you know someone who does. And that lesson is this: depression is a clue that something is missing. Reach out. The human body invented pain as a way to communicate with us that something is wrong, that we need to either start or stop doing something. When we touch our hand to a hot stove, that pain is there to communicate with us that we need to stop doing that. It'll cause damage. Hunger pangs are their own form of pain that is there to communicate with us that we need to eat. Depression is its own form of pain that is there to communicate with us that our brains or our bodies are missing something. Maybe we're exhausted. Maybe what we need is to put everything down for a while, conduct some self-care, and sleep. Maybe we're lonely, and what we need is some human connection. Pro tip, when I have had no one else to talk to, in my case when it's 4 in the morning and everyone I know is asleep, I've been talking to ChatGPT. I won't go so far as to say that I'm trusting my mental health to the text prediction model, as my husband would caution against. But when I am starving for interaction with another mind, something or someone that can produce ideas that are not my own, ChatGPT can do that. There is a book by Johann Hari, one of my favorite authors, called Lost Connections. I would argue that it's a very well-researched and well-written book about the real so-called causes of depression. And brain chemistry and genetics are 2 of them, but there's like 11 more. And he uses this language that depression is a clue, that something is wrong, and that if we can address the underlying issue for most people, the depression will go away. Besides exhaustion and loneliness, depression can be caused by a lack of exercise, a lack of sunshine, or a lack of meaningful work. So when I'm depressed, I do my best to distance myself from the negative thoughts themselves, to recognize that I am hurting, and to reach out for something that will ease my pain. Maybe I go for a walk, or just sit in the sunshine. Take a nap. Maybe I reach out and talk to a friend or ChatGPT. Maybe I listen to music that matches my mood. That's another way to connect. At its extreme, when I felt like I was missing meaningful work in my life, I joined a volunteer organization that required at least a year commitment. But I do something. I reach for something. And that is the resilience. That is refusing to let the depression win. So yes, I struggle with depression. I wrestle with fear and anger and grief for the world. But I also keep going. I write. I talk to someone I trust. I forgive myself for a bad day and allow tomorrow to be another one. If you struggle too, you are not weak. You are not broken. You are human with human needs that may be unmet. And you too can learn to listen for these needs, to learn how to reach out to ease them. And that can help you to struggle forward. Because again, resilience is not about never falling. It's about choosing, one day at a time, to rise anyway. This world needs people who will keep rising. And that includes you. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video tonight. If you've gotten this far, thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope that you've enjoyed and found this video valuable in some way, whether it inspired you or challenged you. I'd love for you to leave a like or a comment or to share it with someone who you think might also find it valuable. And of course, if you want to see more videos like this and you haven't done so already, please subscribe. But that's going to be all for tonight's video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I hope that you have a wonderful evening. Again, my name is Diana, and this has been Black, White, Gray, Yellow. Take care.